Hello students, we had already begun our chapter Nelson Mandela, A Long Walk to Freedom. We had seen that the inauguration had taken place at the Sanson Amphitheatre and they have formed a non-racial government on South African soil, where democracy was placed and each and every people had a right and freedom to choose their government. We had seen that Nelson Mandela, he says that he is the sum of all the extraordinary people who had already sacrificed their life before. Okay, and today he says that he really feels sad that he is thanking all the people and he feels sorry that those great leaders who had struggled a lot, they are not there to see that their South Africa is free today. Their people are having their right and they can choose their own government. Let's continue further today, students. In life, every man has twin obligations. So in life, every person, a normal man, they have two obligations, two duties. Obligation to his family, to his parents, to his wife and children. And he has obligation to his people, his community, his country. So every man has two obligations. One is to his family, his parent, his wife and children, and the other one is to his people as a community, to his country. In a civil and human society, each man is able to fulfill those obligations according to his own inclination and ability. So in any civil and human society, wherever human beings live, each man is able to do this obligation to fulfill them according to his own behavior and ability. But in a country like South Africa, it was almost impossible for a man of my birth and color to fulfill both of those obligations. So Nelson Mandela says in his country, in South Africa, a person, okay, like him who is born during his period and who is of his color, it was really difficult for him to fulfill those obligations. In South Africa, a man of color who attempted to live as a human being was punished and isolated. So in South Africa, a person who tried to live like a human being free was really punished and he was isolated, separated from his family. In South Africa, a man who tried to fulfill his duty to his people was inevitably ripped from his family and his home and was forced to live a life apart, a twilight existence of secrecy and rebellion. So a person who tried to fulfill his duty towards his people, he was inevitably ripped from his family. So a person who ever tried to fulfill his duty towards his family was inevitably stopped and forced to live away from his family and home, and he used to live alone somewhere, existing in himself for secrecy and a rebellion to take the revenge. I did not in the beginning choose to place my people above my family, but in attempting to serve my people, I found that I was preventing from fulfilling my obligation as a son, a brother, a father and a husband. So in the beginning, Nelson Mandela did not begin to choose people, a community first above his family, but when he started to serve his community, his people, he got to know that he was being prevented from fulfilling his duty towards his family as a son, a brother, a father and a husband. I was not born with a hunger to be free. When Nelson Mandela was born, he was not born with a hunger in himself to be free. I was born free. So every child is born free, right? Free in every way that I could know. Free to run in the fields near my mother's hut. Free to swim in the clear stream that ran through my village. Free to roast mealies under the stars and ride the broad backs of slow-moving bulls. As long as I obeyed my father and abided by the customs of my tribe, I was not troubled by the laws of man or God. So when he was born, he was really free to do all these things and he used to abide by the customs of their tribe and he used to even obey his father. So till there, no one disturbed him, no law of man or God troubled him. It was only when I began to learn that my boyhood freedom was an illusion, when I discovered as a young man that my freedom had already been taken from me, that I began to hunger for it. So when he came to know during his boyhood that his freedom was just an illusion, just a dream for him, it was not real. Everything was taken away from him, and at that time a hunger in itself came to of freedom. At first, as a student, I wanted freedom only for myself. The transitory freedom from being able to stay out at night, read what I pleased and go where I chose. Later, as a young man in Johannesburg, I yearned for the basic and honorable freedom of achieving my potential, of earning my keep, of marrying and having a family, the freedom not to be obstructed in a lawful life. So later on, his freedom changed. Okay, they were transitory, not permanent. Okay, they were keeping on changing his freedom, sometimes to stay at night, out at night, sometimes to read what he pleased, and then later when he was in Johannesburg, he yearned for basic and honorable freedom of achieving his own potential, earning for himself, marrying and having a family. This freedom were obstructed in a lawful life. But then I slowly saw that not only was I not free, but my brothers and sisters were not free. I saw that it was not just my freedom that was curtailed, but the freedom of everyone who looked I did. So he says that when he grew up, he got to know that only he is not free, even his other brothers and sisters, they were also not free. He saw that his freedom only was not curtailed, reduced or stopped, but the freedom of everyone who looked like him, it was stopped. That is when I joined the African National Congress, and at that time Nelson Mandela joins the African National Congress Party, and that is when the hunger for my own freedom became the greater hunger for the freedom of my people, and from that time the hunger of freedom for himself became the freedom of my people. It was this desire for the freedom of my people to live their life with dignity and self-respect that animated my life. And with this desire of having freedom for his people, okay, to live with dignity and self-respect that animated his life, that changed his life, it transformed a frightened young man into a bold one, into a strong one, that drove a law-abiding attorney to become a criminal, and that time a person who was abided by law, he became a criminal. That turned a family-loving husband into a man without a home, and that time a man who was loving his family, okay, he became a man without home. That forced a life-loving man to live like a monk. I am no more virtuous or self-sacrificing than the next man. So he says that I am no more that good or self-sacrificing than the other man. But I found that I could not even enjoy the poor and limited freedom I was allowed when I knew my people were not free. So when he came to know that his people are not free, he was not allowed even the poor and limited freedom. Freedom is indivisible. Freedom cannot be divided. The chains on any one of my people were the chains on all of them, and the chains on all my people were the chains on me. So he says that freedom cannot be divided, and if there is chain on his people, then those chains were on all of them. And if the chains were on all of the people, then the chains were on him also. I knew that the oppressor, okay, the one who does cruelty, must be liberated just as surely as the oppressed. A man who takes away another man's freedom is a prisoner of hatred. So one who takes your freedom, okay, you hate him, so he is a prisoner of hatred. He is locked behind the bars of prejudice and narrow-mindedness. Okay, so no one likes him, and all people have narrow thinking about that person. I am not truly free if I am taking away someone else's freedom. So he says that I am not truly free if I am taking someone else's freedom. Just as surely as I am not free when my freedom is taken from me. So he says that even I am not free when my freedom is taken from me, because when someone takes my freedom, I will hate that person. Okay, and I am going to become a prisoner of hatred. In myself, a lot of hatred will be born. The oppressed and the oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity. So when there is no freedom, the person, okay, who's treated cruelly and the one who treats cruelly, both are robbed of their humanity. So I hope you have understood this lesson very well. Go through the videos of this lesson and try to understand all the parts very well.